we always talk about creativity, but do we know what is creativity? Do we know what counts as creative solution in urban planning? So I think living in any city, you always hear about that the problems with cities increasingly becoming complex, that we need new solutions, we need more participation from the residents with different stakeholders being engaged in decision making. And we always strive for creativity and new solutions. We talk about it in different terminologies. We say innovation, design thinking, and creativity, and radical changes, alternative solutions. But we rarely define what these exactly are, what we count as creative in urban planning. If there is a solution in front of you, would you really know whether it's new or not? What criteria you use to really say, as a planner, as a community worker, or as any type of stakeholder, what is creative, and is this solution new and useful for you?
Okay. Is this a semantics problem?
It's a theoretical conceptual problem, because so I can actually explain it this way, that my background is in urban planning, and a lot of urban planning is about decision making and decision science. It used to be a lot about how you make a decision for complex phenomena like urban phenomena. But it increasingly became a political thing. And now everybody's really trying to implement stuff, and they try to adopt all these innovation frameworks. But we're taking these bits and pieces from all these different disciplines. But in discipline of urban planning, we rarely talk about how we're evaluating these ideas. So the theoretical part of it is really influencing how we're doing things on the ground, but we rarely really talk about them in the discipline. Yeah.
Are we layering new things one over the other? Is that a problem?
So my experience of the field, and I say my experience because urban planning is very different in different countries and different contexts. So it's really hard to say a typical planning experience. But for me as a planning scholar, mainly, because I haven't really worked in practice of planning, I started with the field of planning, but then I did a lot of projects in technology and technology development. And the argument is always that the technology is a problem and we need more tools and we don't have enough support tools to make good decisions. The more as a planner I get involved into designing tools, you realize that we actually have a lot of problem with how we take decisions, and we don't really have a very clear idea. And over the years, somehow, which I don't know why, I hope that with this project I can answer this. Over the years, we have just accumulated all these ideas that we need participation, we need collective decision, we need robustness and rationality and evidence base. So we are, same as you said, we're really putting these on top of each other without really addressing the contradictions or problems that we might have conceptually with these. And we're so, because of the whole argument that we are in a crisis, we are focusing so much on implementation that we're really forgetting about why we are doing things the way we are doing things. So there's a lot of path dependencies that I, as a planner, might not even be able to pinpoint. This is the reason why we're doing this way.
Okay, you mentioned the project. So you are here in the Netherlands because you have a Marie Curie grant. Yeah, and this is what the project is about, right?
Yes, so the project, the main goal of it is to create a support system for creative thinking. And the idea of the project is to actually ask more questions than to answer questions. I'm trying to detangle these path dependencies and try to really understand where we are getting these ideas, what are the contradictions, and how we can ask new questions with looking at other fields or trying to address these inconsistencies with ideas that we've created for urban planning. And for some reason, it keeps being reproducing itself in the field. So the project is trying to facilitate creative thinking by asking new questions about creativity in the field.
Okay. Can I ask you, why did you choose to work on this?
I think it was for me a very, very natural progression of what I was doing in the field. So I did a project on gaming and game design in urban planning. And it started with the idea of I want to create a game. I want to create a serious game, as they call it. But midway, I understood that it wasn't about games being not good, or it wasn't about the tools we are using not enough for participation. I think gradually working with game designers and some human-computer interaction scholars, it was a natural question about, are we getting this right? Who's in fault? Is it just the wrong technologies that we have, or is it more the wrong approaches we have? Or not wrong, but unknown approaches we have to decision making. So I never saw this separate, and I feel naturally when you see the two, technology and decision making, integrated with each other, you start asking these questions of, okay, I created this game. What is it changing in a field with applying these games in projects, in communities, or in urban planning process? So I feel like it was a natural progression.
Okay, and you speak now about, let's say, projects and interaction with communities and so on. Do you feel that at the moment this is strictly a abstract or theoretical talk, or do you already, when you envision or when you ask these questions, do you already see them being used in practice and being a concrete solution?
So actually, this again goes back to a lot of things I'm dealing in this project. I have a feeling that there's no single answer to this question, because it's a very individual, subjective values that are involved in decision making and what is right or what is wrong. I personally am very critical of participatory approaches, not in a sense that I don't like collective decision making. I just feel like we're focusing too much on a certain collective decision making, which is all about consensus building and a lot about everybody has same power in the process. Other people might have completely different ideas about this, how these processes should be and how it should be implemented. And that's part of my project, that I feel like a lot of the ideas we have and theories we have in planning completely remove individuals from the process. And it's the word I use as creative agency of urban planners is completely gone, because we always think about it as like, oh, how dare you not involving communities, but we never are empathetic about where they might be involving community in a different way than bringing them together around the same table. So that's also something that I want to highlight as part of this project, on like how we get to a solution that actually acknowledge these creative agencies of planners.
And if somebody wants to know more about the work you're doing and the project you're doing?
So we have a website called sealonabeach.com, and we put all the weblogs of the project there. I have also links to the project in my profile at University of Twente, but also we're planning to put more podcast episodes. We tried it once, but we're relaunch it again next year.
All right. Yeah. I'll be looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Thanks.
Do you want to be a GeoHero as well? Then take the first step and click the subscribe button and then the bell button to always be the first to know when one of our GeoHeroes posts a new video.